Good morning, it's Monday. Do you care? Big stories, I guess, are the election tomorrow, especially the one in New York City, because that should make Trump's head catch on fire. That's one of the big stories. Um, the thing that I'm getting, one of the stories I read this morning is Democrats are starting to feel good because of this election. They're feeling good towards the 2026 midterm election. Now, here's what I got to tell you, and I hope you understand where it's coming from. But, folks, I don't believe that election's going to happen, and you know that. The more you people sit around and say to Donnie that you think we're going to get somewhere's ahead. It doesn't look like the Republicans are going to do anything. Trump's the lowest standing in this term. Approval rating the lowest in this term doesn't mean shit because he doesn't care. Number one, because his plan is to do away with that polls. His plan is to prevent the 2026 election. All right? His plan is a coup of some sort. I don't know how he's going to do it yet. I haven't figured everything out. I haven't got enough information to make a valid assumption. But that's my personal opinion right now. That he's going to do something really, really, really fucked up. And he's going to get martial law. And during martial law, he can cancel or postpone the election until he gets it set up in such a way that he can't lose. Okay? He's not going to let himself lose. It's just not going to happen because if he loses, there's no one for him to blame but himself at this point in time. You understand? So I just don't see him doing that. And I'm tired of seeing the Democrats saying, well, we'll get him this election. Yeah, and this is a politicians that should understand something. You've seen this moron in action for a little over a year. You know about it. You saw him in action in his last 4 years in his term. And you've seen what he's done and said and done and in between. And you see what he's doing now. And Project 2025 does not include the 2026 election. Okay? It's not something that I think he's going to let happen. But that's up to you. But I don't, you keep wanting to be optimistic, but I think that we're headed for very big trouble, and that I don't think that the methods that we've seen work in the past are going to work now. And if you start the comparisons are already starting between the French Revolution and the time now, and because of the way people are starting to go hungry and whatnot, and Trump is indifferent to that, totally indifferent. He has no empathy towards these people that are starving whatsoever. And if you can't get medical insurance, well, that's too bad. In history, hundreds of countries have never had health insurance. Yeah, and millions of people have died, plague and such. Donnie's not smart. He had the opportunity to come in and be a really good president. It was all laid out for him. But that's not what he wants. Donnie ran for president because he didn't want to pay fines and he didn't want to go to jail. That's the second time. Why he ran the first time, I have no idea. Other than some people thought it would be a good idea. And you're sitting there now and he's saying things like the Democrats should help the Republicans with health care. Listen, folks, when he won the first time, one of his issues was he wanted to get rid of Obamacare, and he told the Senate and the Congress to do that. And they couldn't come up with an acceptable program. Okay? They still can't. So what do you think is going to happen? No health care. Or minimal at best. Okay? He understands something. He does understand one thing. He understands that that eventually the population growth that he wants can't be sustained by this country or any country if you don't have some sort of form of attrition. And rather than going around and having people walk into death chambers like they did in what, a Soylent Green movie, he's going to use Robert F. Kennedy's bird brain schemes to cause mass euthanasia. I said it wrong, I'm sorry. But that's my teeth are loose. You think they're real? At my age? Come on, give me a break. Anyhow, I don't, it's my opinion, and only my opinion as far as I can tell. I don't see anybody offering any kind of evidence to the contrary of what I'm going to say, is that there will be no 2026 election, and if it is, it'll be so rigged that the Democrats can't possibly win. All right? Remember, this is Donald Trump you're dealing with. You know? That's who he is. That's what he does. That's his game plan. All right. Hey, Lucy, where you going? Lucy. Come here. Here's my girlfriend. She's my protector when I'm outside. She makes sure I'm okay all the time. She stays by me. She's a little overprotective sometimes, but that's okay. She gets jealous too. Okay. She's heading for the balcony. She needs the vitamin D she gets from the sun, and there's a little sun out there today. Although I will tell you this, it's brutally hot down here right now. Let me see if I can give you a temperature again right now. No. Doesn't appear that it's doing that right now. I don't know why. Oh, yes, there it is. It's actually gone, the clouds have moved and the temperature's dropped to 2 degrees. It's 68 degrees now. That's not true, trust me. The temperature difference between where I live, which is considered Bayo, I believe, and the city of Bayo, which is a couple, maybe 500 feet lower than me, maybe more than that, I don't know, because it's downhill like this to the city. It's unbelievable, the heat difference. You can walk down the street that goes by the front of my apartment. You can walk straight down it, and it's pretty much like this. And and as you go down, you can feel the temperature rising. It's just Colombia. It's Colombia. It's an amazing country, in terms of ecosystems and temperatures and weather and everything like that. It's amazing. I walked out of the house, and if you looked out my window, my living room window, you couldn't see any clouds. It was just a couple white puffy clouds. By the time I walked down the stairs, and trust me, it's not 10 minutes, all right? It's maybe 4 or 5 minutes to get down the stairs for me with Lucy. And I get outside. There are clouds starting to form down towards Medellin, and they're just starting to come my way. Now, they didn't make it here, but now there's some clouds coming over the mountain, and they're not dark or anything, so I'm not sure what they are. But I know there's no such thing as a black cloud, okay? They're all white. It's just some of them are so dense the sun can't get through. Did you know that one? All right. Okay, let's move along a little bit here. You heard that, I'm sure you heard or saw someplace that Trump was threatening action against Nigeria. Now, the only time we were in Africa, I think the country's name was the Sudan, and we got our asses kicked over there and got kicked out. And right now they're telling us, if you read the reports from out of there, there's been tens of thousands of people killed over there by these rebels. You don't mess with these people. This is not a normal fight, okay? They know the country. You're going to go into Nigeria, which is a lot of jungle and a lot of undeveloped areas and whatnot, and you want to go in there with your modern helicopters and everything else, and they will shoot them down with rifle fire, which is almost impossible to stop except with armor plating. It's not like you can deter it, like you can with a missile or something like that. And plus RPGs. Look, in Afghanistan, the Russians had that, I forget the name of the helicopter, but it was the top helicopter in the world at the time, big armor-plated beast. They took it down by drawing it down in the valleys and then throwing rocks off the top of the valley down into the rotors and taking the rotors and the I forget the tail assemblies out on these things. So, it's not as simple as Trump thinks it's going to be. Marines got ambushed in Somalia and the Sudan and whatnot. These are countries you don't want to fuck with. All right, if you can avoid it, just let them kill each other, which has been our policy for years, but now they want to get involved in it. Because the Christians are being... all the violence in Nigeria is in the Muslim end of the country. All right? So, how does that transfer to the Christians getting killed? I don't know. We'll find out. But it's a bad decision on his part. It could be his Vietnam, could be his Afghanistan. I don't know which. I just know it's not a good idea. Supply lines are too far. You're expecting to go in and you take maybe 2 weeks to 30 days worth of supplies with you, get landed at the same time you do, and maybe they back you up another 30 days. And the next thing you know, you're looking for ammo and food. Food you can't find in Nigeria. Ammo, I doubt it. These guys, when somebody gets killed, they leave the bodies around, but they strip the bodies themselves before they take off. So it's not a plan that has the mark of a brilliant strategist involved, anyhow. But that's just the thing. Trump wants a war to deflect everything else he's doing and to give himself the ability to use the Insurrection Act and other things, so he doesn't care who he starts the war with. He'll start it with Chicago if it'll solve his problems for him. Okay, it's Monday. We got a football game tonight. Let's see who it is. I don't remember these things. That's bad, isn't it? Huh. Da. Cowboys and the Cardinals. I don't think I'll watch that game. Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys. I don't know. Neither one of those teams is playing like they should. So, You know. Let's see. I don't know what the final score was last night. I'm sure some of you watched it. Oh yeah, the Commanders won. The Seahawks lost that game. They lost it in the first quarter, 38-14. Commanders lost it. Seahawks won it. Jaguars beat the Raiders by a point. That sucks. But somebody covered that game. But I don't think it was the Jags. I think they were the underdogs. They were talking last night in late afternoon, the game between Buffalo and Kansas City, that Kansas City was favored. If I had seen that on the line, I would have bet that house on Buffalo, because that's just I don't like the way the gambling situation is going these days. I think it's dangerous, and I think it's also slightly crooked. Okay, so that's it. Damn, I lost that again. So I need you to go hit the subscribe button, folks. Help me out there. If you can. I'm just looking for a little support. I've got 19, and I should go look at that. I can't, though. If I leave here, I can't come back right away. So anyhow, I'll find out just who these people are, and try to get a personal thanks to them for subscribing to my channel. Um, 15, 20 minutes of bullshit every day. How can you go wrong? All right, that's it for today. Just hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.